I know, sticky, you know, it's like, they're like jiggy. Somebody says like that. Yeah. Push it, so I.
Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the city council meeting of Tuesday, September 24th, 2024 to order. Would you all please stand for the pledge of allegiance and remove your hats?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, all councilors are present. Are there any amendments or is the agenda accepted as it is?
I'd like to add the city website for discussion.
Yeah.
Madam President, do you historically add those right after consent or at the end?
At the end. We'll do it as,
Number 12?
number 12. Yeah.
Number 13.
Okay. Okay, public comment. Public comments are an opportunity to present information or speak on an issue that is not on the agenda. Comments, oh wait, no, do we have a motion to approve or amend the agenda?
I'll make a motion that we add the city website discussion to the agenda.
Okay, and
And I'll move that we approve the agenda.
thank you.
What about a second? I can second that.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Unanimous. All right, public comments are an opportunity to present information or speak on an issue that is not on the agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes for each person. Visitors may state their comments and should not expect the council to engage in back and forth dialogue or comment. Council may either choose to add it to a follow-up meeting or direct the city manager to follow up with the speaker. I do have a public comment here, Heather Brookstool.
You want me to stand here?
You can stand up.
Hello, so my comment is, I've been watching other council meetings in other cities, and they have department heads present once a month, kind of what they've been doing, what projects are going on, and I know we have a lot of things going on, and there's some things that even you guys don't probably know that goes on in the city, and so I feel like it would be beneficial to the entire community and the council itself to have department heads once a month present at the council meeting what they've done, where their budget sits, all that kind of stuff. So just a suggestion. And then also wanted to bring back, a while back, a young lady came about lighting on 7th Street. And your public works director was to meet with her, and to date, that still hasn't happened. So I'm just bringing that back to the table, that she still has been not reached out to, and she reached out to him multiple times. So if that could be returned, that would be great. That's it.
Yeah, let's see about that.
Yep.
Yeah. Are there any other public comments? Shannon?
Shannon Adair, John Day. So at the meeting that was held at the senior center, it was mentioned several times that the reason that the Purple Pipe project failed was because there wasn't a project manager, and a project manager was needed. That was stated 2 or 3 times. I would like to just remind everyone that that was asked for last May. A project manager was asked for. It was approved unanimously by the council. And then 2 weeks later, when it hadn't happened, I asked why, and they said it was no longer necessary. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention and hope that that's looked at again, moving forward with wastewater treatment. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. All matters listed within the consent agenda have been distributed to every member of the city council for reading and study, are considered routine and will be enacted by one motion If separate discussion is desired, that item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on a regular agenda by request. The items are accounts payable through September 6th, 2024, and the minutes of September 10th, 2024.
I move that,
Motion.
Yes,
I notice there's no legal expenses to the report. The reason? Usually it's separate.
Council President, point of order. If we discuss a consent agenda, item, it needs to be removed off the consent agenda and place it. It needs to be removed off the consent agenda.
right.
I would make that motion that we like the question.
So we'd like to remove the accounts payable. Okay,
So just for clarification, these are the AP, these are what the bills we paid. Your financials are actually on the agenda under Rob, and he'll go over everything and the legal.
We'll discuss. We can get
Yeah.
into it.
Okay,
so we're removing the accounts
the
payable.
bills, yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda for the minute of September 10th, 2024?
I'll move that we approve the consent agenda as amended.
Okay,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
All right.
Aye,
All right.
unanimous. Okay, first item is Grand County Digital Diffusion Ordinance 24-203-15. An ordinance approving and consenting to determination of the IGA for joint management of broadband network and repealing chapter 2.2-2 Grant County Digital Network Coalition of John Day Municipal Code. Do you want to?
I believe our city attorney is on the line. This item.
Jeremy, are you?
I'm here? Yes, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Good evening, council. Melissa, would you like me to provide a brief overview as it relates to the intent of the ordinance?
Yes, please.
So in short, the ordinance is intended to memorialize the city's approval of terminating the IGA, the intergovernmental agreement concerning the agency, the identified agency, which is Grant County Digital Network Coalition. And furthermore, it is intended to repeal the inclusion of essentially the IGA in our municipal code.
Does council have any questions about that?
So, excuse me, Jeremy, this is Dave Holland.
Hi, Dave.
Debts and assets,
One
does
more
that-
time, I'm sorry, Dave.
how does this affect debts and assets?
Yeah,
County Digital,
the ordinance has no effect on the debts and assets of Grant County Digital. That actually is dealt with in the plan of dissolution or liquidation that the agency approved. Correct me if I'm wrong, Melissa, maybe 2 months ago. And that certainly can be circulated if it hasn't already.
Yeah, I think it was a name.
Any other questions for Jeremy? Okay. Well, any motions? Did you have something to say?
Jeremy, correct me, this is a public hearing, we should have public comment? Or it's a
Yeah, it's
legislative?
an ordinance. So, yeah, absolutely. If the council is so inclined, they certainly can solicit input.
Okay, is there any public comment regarding this dissolution? No. Then I will close public comment and we will move on. I need a motion to approve ordinance number 24-203-15. Yes,
I'll make a motion, we approve ordinance number 24-203-115 for the first order, or first meeting. First reading, I'm sorry.
okay.
Ordinances have to have 2 readings and then.
Not if they were circulated a week in advance. Has it been a week? Did I get it out of the way?
Jeremy, the question is, does this require 1 or 2 meetings?
Readings.
Readings.
If the approval is done by unanimous consent, if it's approved by unanimous consent, 2 readings is not necessary.
Advice of our city attorney, I'll withdraw my motion.
Okay, I'll move that we approve the dissolution ordinance 24-203-15. An ordinance approving and consenting to termination of the IGA for joint management of broadband network and repealing chapter 2-2 Grant County Digital Network Coalition. John Day.
Okay, I've got a motion, Eric makes a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Ron seconds it, any more discussion? All those in favor?
Right.
Okay, unanimous. Unanimous.
Gary, just a question. I see on your information that people can participate by Zoom. Do we know if anyone's participating?
I believe Melissa,
Currently, you have 10 people.
we do not have the capability of doing that.
Well, I just don't have, I can't multitask much, you guys, and keep track of the meeting and do this. Because people are coming and going the whole time.
And if they raise their hand, Melissa can see that. Okay,
Yeah.
rally sales agreement, sale of 300 barns in Seneca. Are you doing this one too, Jeremy?
I believe so. So in front of you, council, is a proposed draft of a what I would consider a relatively basic sale agreement concerning the Seneca building. I believe this has been discussed at the council level, certainly at the city management level for quite some time. So what is being proposed is a sale of the Seneca property to Rally for $150,000 cash. It is an as-is transaction, and it is part of, if you'll recall, an addendum that we are working on currently with Rally in relationship to the internet services agreement.
Do I have any, does anybody have any questions for Jeremy? On the sale?
Well, when it says as is, they're talking about the physical building and all.
Yes, as is.
So Jeremy, what action do you need a vote of council to move forward on this, or just consensus?
Motion.
If the council's comfortable moving forward with the proposed transaction, what would be helpful is an approval of the sale agreement subject to any final legal revisions or any revisions that Melissa may request. If the council would like to postpone a final decision on the agreement until it's actually been finalized, we certainly can defer an action on the agreement. But I don't anticipate many material or substantive revisions being made to the agreement.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve the language in the draft agreement as presented.
Motion was made
Eric,
by,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
sorry, council, if I may, if you all could include as part of that motion, then subject to any final legal revisions or revisions requested by the city manager, that would be much appreciated.
Yep, I'll restate that. So I'll request it. I'll make a motion that we approve the sale agreement as presented, pending any final revisions that are requested by city manager and or legal counsel.
What are we selling?
We're selling
Seneca
and for the For
The
for
300
the building at 300 Barnes Avenue in Seneca. Thank you, Chris.
Second, Ron already did.
No.
Oh, also,
Ed is.
Ed did, I'm
Unless
sorry.
you wanna-
Okay. Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Now here lumber economic impact and advocacy letter. Who wants to take the,
This is Chris's.
you asked for it to be on the agenda. You want to leave?
I served on a group that got together when we found out that Mount Here Lumber was going to shut down or possibly shut down. And so we asked the state chief economist, Gail Blumenauer, from the Oregon State Employment Department, to give an impact on the Saltville closing in Grant County. As it stands right now, if Mount Here were to close today, they employ 76 people with a labor impact of $4.5 million. Indirect employment would probably affect another 106 people in the county, with a direct impact of 5.6 million. And induced employment and income, decreased payroll, spending by households and so forth, would probably affect another 25 people for almost 800,000. Total impact to the economy, if they were to shut down, would be about $58 million. With that in mind, the school district took the bull by the horns and drafted a letter. And what I'd like to do today is have the city approve a letter to a variety of people. I have a list of people that I think it should be sent to, indicating that we believe that our community cannot do without this mill. They are not in direct competition with Prairie Wood. They have a totally different kind of wood that they use. Prairie uses fir. Mount Here uses pine. My understanding is we burned up about 10% of Grant County as of today. If this mill goes, what will happen to timber harvest in this community, in this county? The school district did a survey of how many people we would probably lose as far as students, anywhere from 40 to 70 at $10,000 a student. That's per year. So we're talking a maximum of $700,000 to a small school district. We would go from 2A to 1A. That's athletics, extracurricular classification. You guys have any questions?
So you're asking, just so I'm clear, Chris, on what you're wanting from the council, or from us is, you're asking us to approve a letter? Is there, are you talking about the school board's letter to us or a separate letter that's been written?
It's a, you would call it a sample letter that it was taken already to the chamber and the Grant County Court. And we're just asking you to insert the government entity that you want to send it to and sign off as the city of John. And it doesn't deal with anything about schools or anything like that. It just says, here's the economic impact that it'll have.
I mean, in principle, I'm comfortable with the idea of doing what the letter from the school board asks, and that's partnering to take, to impress upon local, state, and federal leadership that this is damaging to our community, and specifically it said our way of life. And I guess I haven't seen that letter, so I just come a little hesitant to say yes on something without having.
It's in the back.
It was.
Yes.
Oh, forgive me. I must have missed it.
Just
Oh, okay. I did read this. Okay.
Just for your information, we've been in contact with Kathleen Cathy. That is Senator Wyden's chief person here in Eastern Oregon. She's recommending that we send it to Forest Service Chief and Senator Wyden with CCs to a variety of people.
Yeah, it was signed by Will. It had a signature block on it, so that's for me. I didn't realize that was for us. And it had the school district. So it would be that letter with our letterhead and I assume Sherry's signature block. Because we'd be authorizing the mayor to sign it, if we had a mayor.
Okay, any other discussion on this? Do you have any?
Well, it's obviously gonna have a tremendous impact on everything, and I wanna make sure that when we sign this and send it, it's absolutely accurate.
I'll make a motion that the council directs, the council president to sign the letter, as presented, pending her review and, I think that's it.
Okay.
That's on the right, Chris. Does that work for you?
I'm just happy you're looking.
I am too. I mean, I think it's a really important issue.
It was very well done.
$58 million is nothing.
Yeah.
You're thinking, well, it is a lot.
Yeah, economic acceleration is significant.
Yeah.
When you look at, 1 million becomes.
And Sherry, what did you think of his presentation at the chamber?
No, I thought the presentation was good. I think the chamber, we decided to move forward. With doing this for the health of the community and for the good of the people. So, I don't have a problem with it.
So I made a motion. This process would be if somebody wants to second it, then we can have a discussion.
Okay.
And then we'll vote.
I would like to second that.
Okay. All right, further discussion?
I just think we need to do any and everything we can to support and try and negate that kind of economic downplay for this community. I mean, it'd be devastating.
Absolutely.
Whether it be housing, whether it be workforce, whether it be whatever. I mean, they've named all of those issues. We don't have control over workforce directly, but we do have control, or at least somewhat control over housing, as we have 3 subdivisions that are currently underway, and supporting those subdivisions would support Mount here and would support outside workforce coming in. And so moving forward, in our decisions where we've been talking about housing for the last 6 or 7 years and trying to promote that and trying to get that going. And some people don't think it's necessary, but now here's a good example of how it is necessary. And the hospital has also, brought that to our attention that they have trouble bringing in quality people and keeping them here because there's no place for them to live or to buy.
And no rentals.
And, so anytime that we can benefit those areas that we do have some control over, I think we really need to focus on those areas to help with the overall future of the community.
All right.
Sherry, just another comment. This is my opinion. I made it clear to the group too. I felt the county court should have handled this. This should not have come from the school district, but they've chosen not to take the lead, so we decided to do the lead. That's the only reason we did it.
I kind of wish Mount Care would have been more involved in it.
Oh, trust me, we've been in contact with Doc Savage. You probably don't know who he is, but
I do.
they're still not for sure, but according to paper this morning, looks like February is when they'll have their logs done.
Okay, well, we will, we have a motion on the table to move forward with the letter. And a second. If there's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Rob. Could you, please answer the question about the accounts payable through September 6th, 2024? Yes. there was a question as to why there wasn't.
I did not see any, I can't remember the name of our legal.
We didn't have a bill.
Right, Leslie and Jarvis.
Yeah, we had no, in the last 2 weeks, we had no bill from them.
Not
We get
this
it once
time,
in a while.
yeah.
So it'll be in there.
Once, okay,
Yeah.
no problem.
Okay, moving on to budget actuals.
Yeah,
Can we
All right.
approve these? before we go on, so we can pay?
What?
Can we approve these if? you
Oh,
guys
yes,
have
can
questions?
we approve the payables, account payable?
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the accounts payable.
And
I'll
a second?
second it.
Okay, Ron makes the motion, Ed seconds, all those in favor? Aye.
Right.
I said I.
Oh, okay.
And the other thing I'll say real quick is, I don't know why all of a sudden we have to approve accounts payable. We've never had to in 40 years.
Because it was on the consent agenda, we're just.
Well, I understand,
Yeah,
I understand it was on the consent agenda. I'm just saying there's nothing in our rules that require us to do this.
well,
So it seems convoluted to me. Presenting it to the public, I have no problem with. But going through all the motions that we go through, it seems a little convoluted because there's no rule that says we have to do that. Just a point. Okay, move on.
thank you. Rob?
All right, so we got your budget to actuals. This is the first one we've seen in this current fiscal year, which started on July 1st. So we've only got 2 months in. We're almost done with September, but not quite. And so this is July and August. If you look in the, does everybody have this in front of them just to make sure?
I do
I
not.
think in the packet, the fact page got put on the front, so. Make sure it says City of John Day in the top one, when you're looking at it. We're not sure how that happened. Anyway, okay, so, this is a little updated from the last one you guys have seen. A couple of changes. One is it includes revenues. That was asked for, and so we've got the numbers on revenues going forward in the new software. It works a little better than the last one. And so we've got current revenues, which the only thing that's different between, if you look at your budget, it excludes the beginning fund balance, which is just the carryover from last year. So it really is an actual revenue that you're taking in the current year. And so that's the difference between current revenues and then your budgetary revenues. So that, we have that on there. And then you can see your breakouts by your budget categories, which is personal services, material services, and capital outlay. And then transfers are in there as well for each of the funds. And it's kind of streamlined into a nice little one sheet, almost one sheet, 1.5 sheet on here. When we look at the remaining, kind of how to read this, when we look at the remaining, we want to see at least 83% remaining to be on pace for the year, because we've got 2 months out of the way. And you'll see that almost all of them are 83% or more remaining. One difference there in the IT fund, material and services has 80.71% remaining. And the main reason for that is we don't expect to operate the IT fund, which is Grant County Digital, for the whole year. And so we didn't budget for the expenditures for the whole year. And then if you go to the second page there, same thing. We're all ahead except for revenues in the water fund, but you know, that's to be expected. Revenues include a lot more than just your typical monthly service charges or monthly charges for service. Any questions on the budget action?
Rob,
Yes.
why aren't these included every time for us to see? We're responsible for the city's finances.
Yeah.
It's just hard to just put in the,
It's actually very easy.
usually every meeting that it's public agency, it's always included.
Yeah, so
I would
the,
like to see that.
yeah, so the expectation when I started doing this was that it would be at the second council meeting.
You still want to continue doing this?
Yeah,
So you want to be an employee of the city?
I'm not an employee of the city.
Is it contract?
All right, so the last page here is your legal and professional services budget actual. That was just kind of in response to questions that have been asked by some council members. And so we're just trying to be transparent and provide that information, and we can do that on a regular basis as well.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for doing this. Yeah, this is something that we wanted to see for a long time before you were even involved in it. So, thank you. Any other questions from council? Okay. Number 11.
Okay, I asked for this to be put on the agenda. I think it's time to move forward with the mayor appointment. We've gone long enough without a mayor. You know, since we had the discussion, I believe it was in March. Correct me if I'm wrong, it was late spring, maybe early spring. We had talked about, we had delayed it as in response to some folks' concerns about too many appointed people being on the council. And I think it was aptly described as an olive branch presented by our council president that we delay that. Well, that delay, that olive branch wasn't really treated as an olive branch as it was described by the Blue Mountain, in my opinion. So things have changed. There's been an election that nobody foresaw when we first discussed this. And that election resulted in what I would describe as a mandate to move forward, for this city to move forward. So out of adversity comes, there's always lemonades that can come out of lemon. And I think some of the lemonade is that the community spoke very clearly on our most recent election and has provided this council with a mandate to move forward. So I am done with not having the appropriate number of people on this council to get the community's business done. And I think it's very important we have leadership in this council in place for the long haul. And we eliminate the trepidation, I guess, if you will, of leadership of this council. I think it's very clear now what this community wants. And I don't view myself as an appointed city council member. I never wanted to run for office, but running for office wanted me, apparently. So with the support of this community, thank you very much. I would like to make an appointment to mayor. And my motion will be that we appoint Sherry Ringer as the mayor for the city of John Day. That's my motion.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
So we don't get to discuss any of this.
We can discuss it right now. We can discuss it right
We're
now.
going into discussion right now.
I said prior to the motion.
You don't do that. That's not Robert's Rules of Order.
Excuse me?
Why would
We discussed delaying the election of the mayor without a motion. We discussed that as council. As council, we discuss things. And then if somebody wants to try and move forward, then they make a motion. We don't just walk into council meetings, throw out a motion without council discussion ahead of time.
Your council
It's
discussion.
just, it's ridiculous.
Discuss it.
It's
Discuss it.
ridiculous.
I haven't voted. Discuss it. I can't get to discussion without making the motion.
Sure you can. It's on the agenda for discussion.
Chris, what do you think? You're very tuned up on Robert's Rules of Order. What do you think?
Usually that's how we do it. Rules of order say discussion, motions been made and seconded.
I'm just trying to follow the rules. Thank you.
Discussion is allowed after the motion. But discussion is allowed before a motion also. There's nothing that says you can't.
Okay,
That's fine.
Dave.
Regardless. I disagree. It sounds like a vengeful move to me.
Vengeful.
Okay? Listen, you had your turn. Let me have my turn. It sounds like somebody's mad because a certain handful of people brought forward a recall. You say the public has clearly spoken. Excuse me, audience. Would you please be quiet while I speak? Thank you. 2/3 of the public didn't speak at all. So it's not like there's an overwhelming majority of the public that spoke in this matter. 2/3 of the public made no vote, period. They didn't. And that's a fact. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. Yes, the people that did vote voted in favor of you. I don't care one way or the other, Eric. I wasn't involved in that, okay? I did not take a side one way or another, publicly or non-publicly. Okay, you have no proof otherwise. What my wife does is not me. My wife has the ability to do her own thing. You don't get to blame that on me. This council unanimously said that for the public benefit, that we would wait until the new council, which is 3 newly elected and 3 previous elected, 1 appointed now, would wait so that the public would have a voice in the appointment of a new mayor. That was the purpose of it. Now, all of a sudden, that all changes because a recall. But 2/3 of the public weren't involved in that recall. So now you're still going back on your word to that 2/3 of the people that you said, we will wait until this time, and this is the way we'll proceed. It just seems to me more like a vengeful act than it does anything else. Sherry's been doing fine as council president. Council president takes the place of a mayor. Because now you appoint a mayor, and then you're gonna have a vacant council seat that has to be appointed. And so now you appoint two things prior to an election happening. The other thing it looks like is a power play. To me, looks like a power play. Looks like you're trying to put people in position. Laugh and smile all you want, but I'm telling you, that's what it looks like. Looks like you're trying to put people in position to maintain control of the council vote until, regardless of how the election comes out. Maybe I don't get elected. That's neither here nor there. There's 6 people that I know of running. I don't know of anybody else that came in late, but there could have been. So there's 6 people running. And it looks suspicious that this is a power play to appoint a mayor, and then the next thing you'll do is appoint a councilor so that you maintain the vote control over the entire council, regardless of who gets elected in November. That's what it appears to me and other members of the public.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Are there any other comments? Yes.
I'm really disappointed. I saw those recall signs up and it says, keep the honest counselors. Sherry, I told you that I would sign on for what you said you would do. And I agreed that you would do that. Now you've changed your mind and said, I guess we're not going to wait for the general election. That's what you said. The next election. Recall was not on the line.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, are you honest about this thing?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I went through hell for the last 4 months. Thank you very much due to this recall. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate all the lies that were being said about me. I did not appreciate people being forced to sign petitions because of the lies they were told to do it. And I'm sorry, our lawyer wanted us to move on. I put it out there that, okay, I put out that olive branch. I said, okay, we can wait. We'll make everybody happy. Apparently we didn't make everybody happy. So why would I change my mind now?
You have.
Elections have consequences.
This was not election.
And
We were not.
That's all I'm gonna say.
I will let you know that if this does pass, and it will pass, that I will have an initiative petition for a referendum on the next ballot to change two things.
As an appointed counselor,
Right.
you're representing the public here, aren't you?
Yes,
What are you?
I was elected. Thank you very much. I was elected.
you were not elected. You were appointed. I appointed you.
Recall
No.
elections. I think I have a mandate along with the other three counselors that succeeded in surviving this recall. That was a mandate. No question about it. And if the folks that lost big don't like it, I'm sorry, but elections have consequences. And you're free to do whatever you'd like, Chris. Things have changed. We offered an olive branch, and what did we get? We got recalled. And you talk about power plays?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2/3 of the people did not voice their opinion.
That was their choice.
But 2/3 of them. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
It's between the council, they should.
okay. I think,
Oh, motions on the table.
Before I was interrupted. My initiative or referendum I'd like to see the council is change how we set the election dates. Right now, you have to have your election nomination form in almost 10 days before the election. And that's stupid. Because we have people that can't get
okay,
on the
well, that
ballot.
has to do with the election, Chris. That has nothing to do with what we're
Well,
discussing
you talking
right
about the
now.
recall has nothing to do with that either. Don't interrupt me. The other part is,
Oh, wait a minute. It's her meeting. It's her meeting. She runs this meeting
she agreed to give me the floor.
and she can take it away.
And the other one is, I don't believe a person that's appointed should remain there forever until the appointment was, or until that person's term expires. I think they should run in the next election.
You have said this before. And
Most cities in the state of Oregon do that.
but it is part of our charter at this point.
I know, that's why I wanted to change it.
Okay,
Just those two things.
all right. Do you or you have anything to say?
No.
Okay, I have a motion. And I have a second. I have a second. Yes.
I did second
I have a second. So I will call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
I
I abstain. All those opposed?
nay.
3, 4, 2 opposed, 1 abstain.
Congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you. My goodness. Due to my appointment as mayor, that leaves the presidency open.
We need to have a discussion about the oath.
Oh,
I guess I have one other question. Is Jeremy still online?
Yep.
So how can she hold two positions at the same time? Because
we're
she's
taking
currently a
care of that
counselor,
right now.
she's currently a counselor, and now she just got appointed as mayor. So she actually holds two appointments. She didn't resign as counselor first and then get appointed as mayor. I'm asking a technical question. I'm asking our attorney if he has an answer for me.
Jeremy, are you still
Yes,
on?
I'm here. I'm here.
Can you
So,
answer
Dave,
this?
Yeah, you know, honestly, you could theoretically resign and then have the appointment made. Or you could have had the appointment subject to your resignation. Multiple ways to skin the cat. Dave is correct, however, you can't hold two positions at the same time. So certainly you're going to have to resign from your council seat in order to assume the role of mayor.
Then I resign from my council seat. Is that satisfactory?
Well, to me, it's kind of backwards, but
Do we need to vote again?
Do we need to vote again? Okay.
I'm asking the attorney. a technical
Well, I know,
question so
I know,
that
Dave,
things
Dave.
are correct.
Okay, okay.
Jeremy, I believe the question is, she just resigned, is that satisfactory?
Do we
You know,
need-
I personally think it's fine. It's substance over form. You know, the reality is there's no intention to hold two positions simultaneously. If you wanted to be above reproach, you could theoretically resign and then have the appointment made and passed by a vote of the council.
We'll do it that way, just to make everything kosher. Okay.
So would Jeremy, if I restate my motion, this is Eric, if I restate my motion, would it be, I move that, to appoint Sherry as mayor, subject to her resignation from her current council position?
That would work as well, Eric, absolutely.
All right, all right. I guess we'll do a redo just to be above reproach, make sure it's done right. Thank you, David. So I'll make a motion to appoint Sherry Ringer as our next mayor, subject to her resignation from her current council position.
I second that.
All those in favor,
Aye.
all those opposed,
Nay.
I abstain.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Okay, now, as a result of that, we no longer have a president.
We still need to have the discussion about the oath of office.
Oh, the oath of office. And who is going to do the oath of office?
Technically, any counselor can. Any elected
Well,
official.
technically, anybody can.
Jeremy, who do you recommend give the oath to Sherry for mayor?
Yeah, I at this point, I think another counselor is more than welcome to do it, or even Melissa. I mean, it's very common to have the city manager do it as well.
Okay. I mean, if we have consensus, I would have Melissa do it. I think it's a matter between having the city manager.
Melissa? Oh,
So do we need to?
You should make a motion.
Okay,
I don't want to get.
okay, so I'll make a motion that we direct the city manager to execute the oath of office for mayor for Sherry Ringer. That's my motion.
I can second that.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sure, why not?
Unanimous.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you, Melissa, you're up.
It was unanimous.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you vote?
I,
You abstained?
I abstain. Oh, no, I'll vote. I can vote on that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
All right. Would you like your oath administered?
I beg your pardon. Yes.
City manager.
Need to stand, raise your right hand. This is how I know I've done it. Repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear and affirm.
I, Sherry Reiniger, do solemnly state and affirm,
Swear and affirm.
swear and affirm,
That I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States.
that I should support the Constitution and laws of the United States
and the state of Oregon
and the state of Oregon,
and of the charter, ordinances, and rules of procedures
and of the charter, ordinances, and rules of
for
procedure
the city of John Day,
for the city of John Day,
and that I will faithfully and honorably
and that I will faithfully and honorably
perform the duties of the office for which I am about to assume.
perform the duties of the office which I am about to assume.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, as long as things are. I have also left the position of council president vacant. And I think that that's an important position that needs to be appointed. Do I have any discussion?
Usually it's done at the first meeting of each year,
Yes,
or you can, it's up to you guys, not choosing when it's done.
Well, if I can't be at a meeting, though, the president has to take over, and who's going to do that?
Or somebody else, they can appoint, so
Well,
just letting you know the chart.
anyway.
I would make a motion to appoint Chris because he has the most experience running meetings. He's been council president in the past. He's been mayor in the past. He knows rules of order, the whole 9 yards. So I'll make that motion. If nobody else likes it, that's fine, but that's the motion I'll make.
Okay, there's a motion. Do I have a second?
Imagine that.
There being no second, the motion dies. Want to leave it or?
To nominate someone.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of experience, I think Eric has experience. I know I don't have his experience. So I nominate him.
Okay, I have another nomination on the table. Do I have a second?
I'd like to second that.
Ed makes the motion. Ron seconds it. All those in favor? All those in favor?
I guess do I abstain?
You can
I'll
abstain.
abstain.
All those opposed?
Nick.
Okay, 3, 4, and 2 against. And 1 abstention. Okay, city manager comment.
I think you have number 12 first.
Oh, we added 12.
The
City website.
The city
Oh,
website.
the city website. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
We contract each year with the web server site, and looking on it today, as of today, the city website has 2 budget committee members listed. Everything else is vacant. The city mayor and councilor, Mayor Rickstool is still mayor, and all the other, and these, by the way, these were all appointed. They were not elected, according to our city website. There's something wrong there, guys.
Well, yeah. Melissa, do you want to explain the problem with the website?
Well, I mean, just, it's me. And so, you know, it's a matter of prioritizing my time. So we don't have anybody else that does it or can do it. I mean,
If you would
So-
give me permission, I bet I could do it in 15 minutes.
well,
Just update.
I would say that LOC would tell you that not to have your council on your website.
Well, it's ridiculous when you go on the website.
Yeah,
And another thing, our website says that we have no job openings at all in the city.
well, at this
They're all
point in time, we
closed.
don't.
Yeah, they're all closed.
Yeah.
I thought we had openings, but I guess we don't according to our website.
Not yet.
Just for discussion. Just for
Well, I mean,
discussion.
I think Chris raises a good point, right? Because the city, I mean, folks go to the website and they look at the website. And so always my philosophy on man, especially government websites, is if you can't keep the information updated, take it down altogether, right? Because it's confusing to people. It's better to have no information than wrong information, in my opinion. So I agree with Chris on this. I think hopefully as a matter of consensus, we can have the city manager take a look at, okay, what are the top 2 or 3 options, what it would cost to get the website updated and be not just the one time and done, but continue to sustain that website moving forward, because that's really the key, right? And Civic Plus is okay. I know how to use it, but it takes time and people don't realize that in the background, somebody's got to do that work.
There's also an issue with our domain. We can't get access to our domain, so Civic Plus can't do their platform upgrade. Unless one of you wants to loan me your ID with your name and stuff on it to send through the internet to somebody out in internet land. Because there's a prior people on it and we can't get access, so, that's a problem we're still working through.
Heather?
So a couple things, because I did help with that, so I can give you some intel on that. So Nick Green had that website locked with his information only. So I ran into that with Civic Plus too. But Sarah was approved before I left, we made sure that Sarah was approved because it's in her job description as the secretary to also upkeep the website. In her job description, since the secretary came a part of John Day. So that should be fine. But I definitely agree with Chris. Like, I still have people come up and ask me why my name is still on the website, and I'm like, it shouldn't be, but the locked name thing is a real thing. Nick Green, because he was the city manager, it was locked, and without prior gods of internet, it's gonna take but Sarah also had that when she was currently as the secretary, because it's in her job description to also upkeep the website.
Sarah can get on there and put things on there. There are certain pages she can't, but she can get on there. It's the domain, though. We can't get into our domain and get access to give Civic Plus access to
Do their
update. So once we get that, and they want utility bills and they want, your last child's mother.
So you could go on and take like my name off and put.
On some pages, I think, yeah. I'm not sure where, she doesn't have access to everything, but
Well, let's see what she has access to and what she can update.
I mean, at the end of the day,
Right away.
if our domain's locked out, it might just require a complete redo of the website. At the end of the day. So.
It was just for discussion. We can't take any motion because.
no, I mean, I'll work on it. I just. Oh.
Okay. All right, thank you, Chris. Melissa, do you have any comments or updates?
I don't at this time.
Okay, council, do you have any comments or updates?
I have a question
Sure.
for Melissa. My understanding, we're recently down 2 public works employees.
Well, technically one.
Technically 1, the other one's on.
It's an employee matter. Yeah, be careful.
So, what's the plan of
We have,
getting the applications or posting a job or whatever, because Public Works can't afford to only have 2 or 3 people. They have too much stuff to take care of, and we're coming into winter.
Yep.
Where we've got snow plowing, frozen water lines, just all kinds of stuff happens in winter time. And we need, a good effective crew.
totally agree. However, we have to go through the union and get everything approved.
You don't have
We
to
have
go
to-
through the union to hire somebody.
We have to get their rate of pay and their job description approved, because we cannot take work away from other people, and we have to approve their pay. And we are going through negotiations right now, so we have to go, and when we talk to them next, we will present that and try to get it approved so we can get someone hired.
Yeah, it's just, I just don't wanna see anybody dragging their feet trying to get these
We're not
positions
dragging our feet.
replaced, because like I said, we're coming into a really tough time of the year with the snow and the snow plowing and everything else, and we can't afford to only have one or two people on public works.
Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. So, we do need to hire, but, like I said, no one's dragging their feet. We're just doing it properly.
Well, I'm not accusing you, I'm just asking a question,
Yeah.
so. Thank you.
And one thing, Melissa, can you open for applications for the vacant council seat?
I can. Are you directing me to?
Yes, please. And let's see, our next meeting is on the 8th. Maybe we can, let's see, you get council packets out on Tuesdays or Wednesdays before the meeting.
So, well, I try,
Wednesday,
I very
you
much try. So next meeting's on the 8th,
Okay,
so it'd be the 1st.
so let's,
The second meeting of the month is on the 22nd.
right. So can we make the cutoff on the 16th so those applications can get into the
I would make it the 14th or the,
14th? Okay,
I would make it the 14th so I can get them in.
Oh,
the
that's-
packet for
yeah.
the 22nd.
okay. Okay, is that okay with
Is that a
council?
paid holiday? Yeah. Columbus Day?
Oh, it is. Never mind. We won't be there.
Okay, the 15th? Oh, that's gonna be.
15th's fine. I can get packets out the 16th.
Is that the day you have? Don't you have union going on that day?
The 15th I do,
Okay, so how about?
but it's okay. They can turn them in. I don't need to stand
Okay.
there.
Okay, all right. Okay, is that agreeable?
Okay, me. I have a question for this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Last meeting, you said that you'd get, or the union lawyer said you would get copies of the contract before mediation.
We don't have a contract. He said he'd get you the TAs and yeah, we haven't talked, so I'll ask him again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there anything else? Then
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Well, oh wait, we're going into, hold on.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't-
Adjourn the public meeting.
What,
But
yes,
mayor, we have mayor and council comments.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we already did that. We just did that.
Oh,
Oh. Okay, we are going to be moving into executive session, so I will now ask the public to please vacate. Yes.
Jeremy, are you still there?
yes. Yes.
I am here.
Okay, will we be making a motion at the end of executive session? Possible?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So we are going to be moving into executive session. So I will please ask public to vacate the building at this time. Thank you very much for coming. We'll take a 5 minutes, a couple minute break if anybody needs to use the restroom or whatever.
Media.